your time. No more, no less. Do your time. Now, when I started doing comedy, it was in Boston, Massachusetts. And when I was starting out, I was just starting to work. And the way the shows worked at that time is you do road gigs. And the first guy would do a half an hour, the headliner would do 45 minutes, and that was the show. So now I'm just starting to open. And there's this dude who moved to Boston from Cleveland. No one knew who he was. All we knew is that he didn't like his name in the paper. He didn't want his name on the marquee because the IRS was after him and an ex-wife. So this guy was actually on the lam doing live stand-up comedy. These are the kind of people that were around doing comedy back in the day. And this guy's name was Frankie Bastille. Now, I had to go pick Frankie up to drive him to a gig in Connecticut. We were gonna drive 2.5 hours, me and this guy I'd never met before. So I go to this apartment building, and I'm walking down this hallway to pick this dude up, and all I hear from the end of the hall, coming from an apartment I can't quite see, is some guy going, "Where's my tooth? Where's my fucking tooth?" And I'm like, what is going on? And I knock on the door, and this dude opens up. He looks like Keith Richards, and he's missing his front tooth. He goes, "I'm Frankie, I can't find my tooth." "All right, I'm Mark." He's like, "All right, we gotta find my tooth, and then we'll go." I'm all right. So we look around for the tooth for about 20 minutes, and he reaches into his pocket, and he goes, "Oh shit, I got it." And he pops his tooth into his face. So that was Frankie. He had a Tibetan chant tattooed around one arm. He had some other tattoos in the other arm. He looked like Keith Richards, and he talked like that. He was like, "All right, man, we're gonna go." So I'm driving in the car with this dude, and he's giving me the lowdown on how to do stand-up, right? He's like, "Gotta do your time, man. It's the most important thing. That's the rules of the road. You gotta do your time." And right before I was about to go on stage, he recited some poem that he had written about the road to me before I went on. I wish to hell I could remember it, but it was sort of like a pirate shanty of some kind. So now, like, I'm just starting out. So I go on stage before him at this place at a disco ball. It was like just a bar in Connecticut that was doing a one-nighter. I go on stage, I'm doing well. I do everything I got. Every joke I have, I do all of it. And then I stop and I go, "All right, thank you very much. I'm Mark Maron. It's my pleasure to bring up the stage. He works clubs and colleges all over. Frankie Bastille." They all clap, nothing. He doesn't come up. Clap and starts, kind of slows down. He doesn't come up. And I'm standing there, I'm like, "All right, well, please bring up Frankie Bastille." Nothing. So now it's weird, and there's silence. And from the back of the room, I hear Frankie go, "26." And I'm like, "What?" He goes, "You did 26 minutes. You got 4 minutes left." So I do some street joke I remember, and I get off, and then he goes on and kills. He gets off. He goes, "Gotta do your time, man." And I worked with him a couple other times. See, Frankie was a doper, and this is one of the reasons why I love stand-up comedy, because I worked with him a couple other times. And I was doing blow at the time. I was doing a little bit of coke, and he was living in a SRO, off of Kenmore Square, And I said, "I'm gonna go get some dope, some coke." And I went to my dealer's house, and somehow I left with like, a half a gram and a guitar amp, and. He was that kind of dealer. He dealt to musicians, so they were, it was sort of a pawn shop / So I show up at Frankie's with this half gram, and I was going to do some lines. He goes, "Can I do some?" And I'm like, "Yeah, it's fine." He says, "I'm going to shoot mine." And I'm like, "Okay, I guess." He goes, "You want to watch?" I'm like, "Yeah, I do, kind of." He pulls out like something that looks like, the kind of, like, I was never a dope guy, but when you got paraphernalia, he had this stuff that was like, wow, that stuff looks pretty well used. It looks like you love that equipment. And, it was, the fascinating thing to me about this particular moment is he tied himself off, and then he pulled some coke into the syringe and he hit himself. And like within like 30 seconds, he's like, and I'm like, oh no, now we're in trouble. He's like, "Oh, this stuff's cut with baking soda." And I'm like, I thought it was so impressive that he could taste from the inside. I thought, this guy's really something, real junkie. Like, and then he got all hyper and started sweating and talking about things. But here's the last bit. Is like, okay, so I got driving down to Cape Cod to do a show at a Chinese restaurant called Johnny E's. They had a Polynesian dance show. And then they had comedy. And I'm driving Frankie about, an hour and 15, hour and a half down there, however long it was. And we're driving, and he's pulling out little bindles of heroin, and he's snorting them in the car. So like, he pulls out a little dime bag, and he snorts it, and he goes, "You want some?" And I'm like, "I'm driving. This is not the time to try heroin." So like, he does 2 bags of heroin, and he's done, man. He's out. He's like nodding, like he's out. And we pull up at Johnny E's, and I gotta walk him in. So I'm walking this dude in, and I put him in a booth, and he just was like, out. I don't know what the hell to do. So I go up and I do my half hour, I do my time, and now I'm bringing Frankie up, and I don't know if he's even awake. So I go, "Ladies and gentlemen, clubs and colleges all over, please welcome Frankie Bastille." And like, a second didn't go by, and he bounds onto the stage. And he does the most animated show I have ever seen in my life. He's sweating, he's acting shit out. He gets a standing ovation. And then he gets off, we go out to the car, and he's like, and I'm driving, all I'm thinking is like, that dude is a professional. Take that shit. I do? Yup, for what? Inflammation. Of what? Just general inflammation? What is that? It's the new bad thing that causes all the other bad things. What happened to cholesterol? It turns out that's good for you. What? When did that happen? Turmeric, huh? Who told you about this? My trainer? All right, so the guy who wanted to do something else with his life saw something online, told you, and now you're dumping it into my head. Now I got to worry about whether I'm going to take turmeric or not? And I apologize. I know it's a little condescending to trainers, and some people get a little weird about that. I don't know why. Is that a surprise? Most trainers wasn't their life goal, all right? They had other plans. The team didn't work out. They didn't make the team. They were at the gym a lot anyways. Whatever. Just wasn't the big plan for them, all right? They ended up there. And they can take this criticism. I'm just calling a fact a fact. I'm not going to make fun of yoga instructors because that's different. That's sort of the last stop for them. You know, you want to be nice to them. You don't know how they got there. It's probably a harrowing tale, but you know you're kind of grateful they made it to wherever they are, and you know that you being in their class is as important to them as they are to you. Like, if it doesn't work out for the trainer, I'm sure he's going to figure out something else to do. The yoga instructor, we really don't know where that goes. You know, back to the turmeric guy. As he's walking away, he's like, "Oh yeah, if you're going to get the turmeric, make sure you get it with black pepper in it or it won't activate." Now, right there, doesn't that make you go like, that sounds like bullshit to me a little bit? Am I that big of a sucker that you think I would believe that? Where's the science on that? That sounds like a couple of vitamin hustlers sitting over a mound of wholesale turmeric with a bunch of empty gel caps. One guy going, "I don't know, man. I don't think we can move this just like this. It's just a spice. I think we got to add something." "Yeah, like what, boss?" "I don't know why it's a 30s movie." "I don't know, maybe another spice." "Yeah, like what, maybe pepper?" "Yeah, keep talking. Maybe we say it activates it." "Holy shit, that's a fucking $1 million idea right there. Let's load up these gel caps. Maybe Rogan will move them on his podcast." I mean, I know Maron won't do it. He's more of a Stamps.com Squarespace guy. But Rogan's sort of an old school supplement slinger. And I know I'm going to get a little flack for that comment. I know there might be a minor pile-on Twitter of the monoculture of free thinkers, but I can take it. So I guess after all is said and done, I should just say that, like, I'm taking turmeric, and I feel less inflamed, you know, in a general way, generally less inflamed. I'm going to believe that. I believe that. It's funny what we believe in. You know, it's kind of ridiculous. sort of all kind of magical thinking because we're all frightened. But there's one thing that is kind of baffling to me. You know, we all take vitamins, yet there's a vocal but small minority of people in this country that refuse to vaccinate their children. They refuse to vaccinate their children because the jury's still out, I think, on the vaccines. Is it, though? Jury's out on vaccines? How many friends do you have with polio? A lot of polio people in the family and iron lungs? Got a lot of people, you know, in the iron lungs. Did you ever get over that whooping cough you had? How's that kid with mumps of yours? Is that kid all right? You fucking moron? And they're always like, the measles isn't a big deal. Yes, it is. It was gone. There were no measles. And they're like, well, everyone knows you can knock out the measles with a high dose of vitamin A. What? No. I mean, if you add a little black pepper, I think maybe you got a shot at knocking out the measles. I don't know what's happening, people. I don't know. But it's pretty clear the world is ending. I don't want to shock anybody. Seems to be happening, though. I thought we'd get out. You know, I thought we'd make it under the wire. I thought I would, you know. I'm 56, but I don't know. I think we might see it. I think we might see it. Certainly, it's been ending environmentally for a long time, and we've all kind of known it. We knew it. But I think on a deeper level, the reason we're not more upset about the world ending environmentally is I think, you know, all of us in our hearts really know that we did everything we could. You know, we really... Right? I mean, we really did. I mean, think about it. We brought our own bags to the supermarket. Yeah, that's about it. Like, we brought the bags right when they told us. We brought them, and it just wasn't enough, it turns out. Just not enough to, you know, get us over the top with this. But I don't know, maybe this straw thing, the no straw thing, will help, you know, maybe that'll do it. Maybe that'll keep the polar bears from drowning. Sometimes the answer is right between your mouth and your soda, you know, and you just take that out of the equation and the human species survives. You know what I mean? It's going to be a tough transition for a lot of people, you know, to like, you know, oh, fuck, I guess we got to drink like grown-ups now. It's bullshit, man. No straws. Fuck this. Goddamn liberals fuck everything up. And that is the tone and depth of many of their arguments. Look, I have to be honest with you. Trump is probably the most horrible human that ever lived in any capacity doing anything. And not a political statement. That is observational. Completely observational. No matter what he would do, if he was doing another job, he would be the same asshole. Like if he was working on a car lot and you went onto that lot to buy a new car and he came walking towards you, innately you would be like, nah, not that guy. I don't feel comfortable with that guy. There's something off, not right. It's not right. And I don't know, man. You know, it's like a lot of people still ask that question, like, how did this happen? Why? How did he get elected? Now, I don't want to be condescending. I think most of you are like-minded people. I don't think there's a lot of Trump supporters in here. If there are, it's not your night. But I think there is a question among people that aren't Trump people that's sort of like, how did this happen? Well, I had to ask myself that now, and I'll ask you. So during the Obama years, were you pretty politically active? Yeah, exactly. So like, if you ask most people, what did you do during the Obama years? It'd be something like, well, I worked on me. I did a lot of work on myself. You know, I was very mindful. There was a lot of hope then. Did a lot of yoga, got my core tight. And I think that was good. I think that's good. Yeah, well, they were chipping away at state and local governments for 30 years, but your downward dog is solid? That's great. That's terrific. Good for you. So I don't know what's going to happen. I don't even know if he's going to leave if he gets voted out. What if he doesn't fucking leave? I know most of you have thought that because now it could happen because we don't know how government really works anymore. We used to think there was rules and stuff, but clearly none that weren't bendable or completely eradicatable. Is that a word? I I mean, there doesn't seem to be any rules, kind of. There's all these norms which are